Anytime you have a group of people who come together because they care about something and it supports the strategic objectives of an organization, you have what I call a business performance community. And organizations can cultivate these to tackle some of their toughest problems. Sometimes these communities are mostly outside the organization. Sometimes they sit on the bounds, and sometimes they're all internal. When you look at business performance communities, there's 3 different levels that you have to take into account. You have to take into account the organization, you have to take into account the community, and you have to take into account the participants. These are the 3 areas that you need to pay attention to if you want a healthy business performance community. You have to be able to articulate the business drivers. What is the benefit to the business? This is extremely important because this is what validates the community as far as the organization is concerned. This is where the community connects to the organization. And if you expect the organization to sponsor the community by giving it space, by giving it money, by sending people to conferences, by acknowledging their contribution, everyone has to be absolutely clear about what the business driver is. I would say to you that this is the #1 problem in organizations effectively sponsoring communities, is that they're not clear about the business drivers. Or the business drivers they choose are not strategic priorities of the organization. Suppose you go to the manager and you say, look, I've got a group of people together. We want to be a community of practice. Okay? We want to develop a discipline. And the manager says, well, so what's the benefit to me? And you say, well, we're all going to be focused on a discipline that's directly related to our objectives. And the manager says, oh, okay, that sounds good. You don't have their buy-in. You need to choose a business driver that is a priority for the business so that the business begins to hold the community accountable for its contribution, and they need to see a return on their investment. And when that community provides the return, that business will endorse that community. Second level is community concerns. Why is the community together? What's their agenda? It has to be addressed or the community will fall apart. People will just stop coming. It's very self-interest directed, a community is. If your community gets together because they want to elect Howard Dean to be the president, and all of a sudden Howard Dean stops being the topic of your meetings, think that community is going to keep coming? No. It's over. They're going to go where he is the topic. That's what they're about. So you have to stay on topic with the community. And the third level is the participant benefits. Why should an individual contribute? What makes it worth their while? With our core communication constituencies at the World Bank, what made it worth their while was proximity to the president, input on institutional strategy, and having their ideas taken seriously. Those were the types of things that mattered to them. That was a big draw. So you have to look at the participant benefits. I talked in my little written description for this speech about cracking the code for business performance communities. These 3 things are the code. You get all 3 of these up and running, and you will have a successful business performance community.